Oh, wow. There's like comments and people and everything there already. How are you all doing tonight? This is our Thursday night live stream that we do every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Dylan Talks Tone. If you are new to the channel, we talk about guitar stuff and we make pickups. DylanTalksTone.com, if I could have the mouse right here so we could tell people, because when people say, where's the link to your stuff? I didn't know you even did that. Well, there it is. It's on the screen right there. Dylan Talks Tone. Also, we want to thank our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/Dylan Talks Tone. We're going to answer a couple of your questions tonight that I make a post every Thursday morning. We post it on Patreon, and we prioritize those and throw them up on the screen and stuff. If you have questions about guitar stuff, you can put it in the chat right over here, and Leslie will try to catch it. If we use a super chat, we will drop what we're doing and answer that question immediately. We will talk about guitar stuff until 9 p.m., and then we're going to go off topic and talk about some other things and let you ask whatever question you want. If you ask an off-topic question right now, we'll save it for after 9 o'clock. So that's how that works. Do me a favor, check out some of the links below, DylanTalksTone.com, the Sweetwater link, the Runway Audio link, as well as a couple of those other things down there. StuMac, that's what supports the channel and keeps us going. So there you go. Since we don't really have sponsors, per se, that's that. You saw the thumbnail. I would like you to get in the comments and tell me, of all the gear that you have, I kind of did this on Facebook earlier this week, and it was really fun. Mm-hmm. All the gear that you have, what is the most pointless gear? And just so since somebody said something about a guitar pick, I'm actually using a very pointy guitar pick lately, by the way. What's the gear that you use the least that you still have, and you're like, I just don't use this anymore, or I bought this thing thinking it was going to be amazing. This is a good one. I thought this was going to be amazing, and it's just kind of and I don't use it at all anymore. You know what I mean? It wasn't worth the hype, or whatever the kids are saying these days. I don't think that's saying is dumb. But anyway, let me know what you think over there in them comments, and we'll chat about it. I purposely kind of didn't think about it ahead of time so that I could be sort of spontaneous in my thoughts on this too. Probably my least, besides some pedals that I don't really use that much, the least used piece of gear that I have right now is my Black Star St. James tube amp. Mm-hmm. I played it the other day and I was like, dang, I really love this thing. It's so good. But I just don't use it enough because of where we live, because of how I play and what I usually, the point of me playing. For those of you that don't know, if I'm not playing for a video, if I'm playing recreationally, I'm playing an acoustic guitar most of the time. So I play electric guitars for work and I play acoustic guitars for fun. And actually, if I were to go out and play live, like an open mic night or something, I usually only bring an acoustic. So the 50-watt 6L6 tube amp, for me, is the least used piece of gear. Even though I can record with it, honestly, that Tonex thing, just for the ease of use, has kind of been taken over for me. So,
you want to hear what people think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Jeffrey Egan says, String Butler. Never even put it on any guitar.
Oh, yeah. Makes
Eric
sense.
Luddinger. Did I say who said that? Jeffrey Egan said String Butler.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if I said
I
that.
got it.
Eric Luddinger says, Overdrive. It stinks.
Interesting. Does that mean you play clean all the time, or you just use your amp straight? That's an interesting question.
Let's see. Someone's dad said the piece of gear that I didn't use enough to justify was an actual Bigsby. It is a beautiful piece of art, but I don't use it enough to justify an extra pound of metal on the fiddle.
That makes sense.
Bill
for
Brett
some people.
Says Gibson guitars, useless. Burl Investment says my 12-string.
Oh, wow.
Someone's dad said, and by Bigsby, I don't mean the licensed version.
Okay. That's interesting. I get that.
Eric said he always plays clean.
Really? Okay, cool. You're few and far between. That's really neat. I actually really love Bigsby's. So that one is a complete opposite for me. And I kind of wish I had a Bigsby guitar right now. And I don't. So that's pretty cool.
Yep says, I don't use my expensive carbon fiber Rain Song acoustic much because it is super loud and I'm still pretty shitty on acoustic.
Oh, so I'll tell you something funny about that. I have some really nice acoustic guitars. And because we live in an apartment right now, I don't play them that much. My most played acoustic guitar right now is my Close carbon fiber, the little one. Because I can just sit there and plunk on the couch. And my really good acoustic guitars, you're right, are so loud that it's just like I'm kind of worried that I'm going to disturb the neighbors. So I don't actually use them. Yeah, I mean, I still play them, but not like full out, like, balls to the walls volume that I would want to. I play my McPherson a lot too, but no, that's pretty cool. What else they got in there?
I also have a Gary Simmons says, sadly, my least used piece of gear is probably my 1969 Martin D18. Wonderful guitar, just don't play much acoustic guitar. New Gun Guy says, my pick collection with facepalm emoji. Random Guitar says, my Bigsby works great on my White Falcon.
Ooh, yeah, for sure.
BC Rich 581, my 8-string bass is pretty useless, to be honest.
Okay.
Mike Ford says, I'll second the 12-string. Too much of a pain in the ass to keep it in tune, change strings, etc.
That's true. And because he likes to play out a lot.
Haas says, Marshall Full Stack, not really what I wanted in a practice amp. Bill Brett says, volume and tone pots, remove them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
J-Van B231. I think all my amps are pointless, but I can't bring myself to sell them off.
I get that. I've actually been thinking about selling the St. James, but I'm like, the minute I do, I'm going to want it for something. So I'm keeping it.
I don't know how to say this. Gaetan Dubé? I have no idea how to say that. I apologize. Too many cables of various lengths just in case one breaks.
Ooh. I think that's the bane of everyone with video or audio hobbies, right? You have a box or something of cables with all kinds of adapters and you're like, I need this one little adapter. No, I don't. I've not needed this for 5 years. And then you throw it away and you either have to Amazon it because we don't have Radio Shack anymore. Back in the old days, you had to run to Radio Shack and get the little adapter that you needed because you threw it away 2 days before you needed it. Now you have to Amazon it and hope that it's the right one or that it's long enough or that it's not so cheap that it sucks. Yep.
The Distortion Principle says, my bass is most unplayed guitar next to my kazoo. Whatever happened to that thing?
I don't know what happened to that thing. I bought an electric kazoo, and I was going to use it with it in a Kemper video, and I never did.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Because I couldn't figure out how to play it very good. I wasn't very good at it.
Anyway. It's Victoria G says, my Pink Paisley Acoustasonic Telly is useless right now. Ball end of the string fell off in the bridge, and if I charge or plug it in, it will short out. I need to get it fixed.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Mike says, everything pertaining to guitar. I think he said it's Mike from Sebastian, so I think it's Cigar Jeep Mike. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's who's saying everything pertaining to guitar. He's not doing anything with guitar, I guess.
Okay.
Random Guitar says, currently my amplifiers are my least used gear. It's all digital for me. I gig with a processor, and it's great.
Isn't that funny? I was wondering how many people were going to say amps. Because that's kind of where I'm at.
Mark Stanton says my 335 is too big for me and the neck is too fat. Mark is a really slender guy.
He is, but he's super tall and lanky.
That's true.
So that's a
tall.
surprising one. Interesting, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, yep, says, I live in the kazoo capital of the world. I didn't even know there was a
What's
thing.
the kazoo capital of the world? We have to know.
Yes.
This is semi on topic. We have 2 Patreon questions over here that we should get to.
All right.
Also. And then we'll get back into the question. If you have guitar questions, etc., I think there's probably some in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch them. I
No,
was like
no problem.
talking in between, reading all those.
Trying to
that
catch
was
'em.
good feedback, though.
That was great.
A lot of people.
And we'll keep it coming
participated.
because we'll keep talking about it.
Oh, why are you telling that? Then I got to interrupt you.
No, that's okay.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, let's do these 2 Patreon because we only got a couple of Patreon questions this time.
I was gonna see if oh, Mark said he has small hands.
Okay.
All right, Patreon. Ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Ivan, looking at a Tesla meter like yours and the ad says it's a 5% accuracy. Is that sufficient?
I think so because if you're looking at like 1,300 gals and it's 5%, then obviously that's just 10 or 15 or 20 or whatever. It's not that much. 5% I would say is pretty good. Here's the other thing too about some of this test equipment is because I get a lot of criticism for the test equipment that I buy, like capacitance and stuff like that. It doesn't work at the right frequency, blah blah blah. I don't care. What I care about is I make a pickup on Tuesday. If it measures consistently with the pickup that I measure on Thursday, I don't care about industry standard, somebody over in Australia measuring something the same thing that I measure. I just need within my shop things to be consistent so that my product is consistent. Obviously, an ohm meter needs to be right, but some of these other kind of off-the-wall pieces of equipment, you want them to be right, but you just more importantly want them to be consistent, and I think 5% is enough.
You ready to know what the kazoo capital is?
Yes.
Beaufort, South Carolina.
What?
He said there's even a kazoo museum. I need to go.
We are going.
To Beaufort?
No, we're not going to Beaufort.
Beaufort's the one you drive through when we go to Hunting Island. It's the last mainland.
We will go to Beaufort and see that.
That sounds fun.
It does sound fun. We've gone to crazier museums than the Kazoo Museum.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
We've gone to crazier museums than the Kazoo Museum.
Yeah, and speaking of Hunting Island, like they supposedly saw
a
Sasquatch.
A Sasquatch.
There.
So maybe we should.
And
that's
we've
right.
been to a Sasquatch museum.
Yep.
That is funny.
That is funny. Let's get this other. I didn't know. That's closer to home than I would have anticipated. I was thinking somewhere in Iowa or somewhere.
Somebody said Kalikazoo. Shane, hey Dylan, you mentioned last week that you are so busy that both of your children are now working for you. Will we one day see a line of Dylan Jr. pickups, perhaps to fit in a Jim Jr. or a Les Paul Jr.? A line of Leslie's would also be nice.
So, the thing is, it's funny, is my son was working for us pretty regular, and then he got it in his head that he wanted to start his own business, doing something else, not guitar related, because he's in the car business, and so he has gone kind of all in on that, and he'll still call me once in a while, I think, when he really needs money or when he's when he's slow in his other business, be like, hey, do you have any work for me? And he'll come over here and press bobbins together for me and stuff and do a bunch of stuff. And he can actually wind a good pickup too. Our daughter's been coming over pretty regular and working with me now and helping me out, keeping up. And it's been very helpful. They're in Leslie's wound one. We were just talking about this last week, and she's like, you should just teach me. I am reluctant. I'm not reluctant to teach you. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that you already have a job. And if we got so busy that we got too busy for me and Brianna, mostly me and Brianna, to keep up, then I would have you help me. But it just seems weird. Like, you work, 7 to 4, and I work 8 to 4 ish sometimes. And then come in here and work again. Like, it just doesn't seem, you would have to work outside. You would work a lot. Like, and I like our time to be our time, not work time. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. I think maybe at least some short runs should happen where you make some stuff.
Can we sell them for more?
Yeah, we could sell them for more.
Do I have to sign them?
Yes.
I don't know if I could work that thing.
That'd be the hardest part.
Probably.
Learn how to use the engraver so you don't mess up your name.
I mean, I already mess up my name every time I have to sign it electronically. I can't imagine signing it with a vibrating pen, basically.
That's really funny. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, maybe. The answer is maybe. But yeah, the kids have been a big help, but they have their own lives, so.
It would be fun.
It would be fun.
To answer your question.
It would be fun.
Also, I don't know that there's much junior about it since they're grown.
Yes, because they are.
No child labor.
They're grown. I have to call them and be like, hey, do you want to come over? Well, today she was like, I'm coming over. I need some work.
Yeah.
So, because what it is they were slow, so they let her go home early, and she's like, hey. Well, they gave her the choice. She's like, we're slow.
I think they weren't planning on her serving today, though.
Her boss was like, we're slow. Do you want to stay and hope you get some tables? And she's like, no, because I can go somewhere and actually make money. Mm. And so she called, and then she left work and texted me and was like, hey, do you have work for me?
She didn't even have confidence.
Yeah. And I'm like, yep. When do you want to come? Now. She was here like 10 minutes later.
That is funny.
So. Mm-hmm.
Yep says husband and wife teams typically have roles each one does best. Also for sanity.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that. We are probably
sanity?
We are probably unconventional in that, though, because we can do just about everything together. There isn't anything, I don't think, that I need to do this by myself. You can't be here while I do this, otherwise it won't be done. We don't have anything like that, I don't think.
I mean, there are times I wish you were not present when I had things to do, because you're loud.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're in a meeting or something, and yeah, you would rather me not be here
because then you decide to pour cereal and
yeah.
Hopefully, when we get a new house, that won't be a problem. But we've also been living in a very small space for a long time.
I mean, this is a lot of space compared to how we were living.
Yes, that's true. But your workspace was has been in the public space of the house.
Yes.
For this will be almost 5 years now.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So
I deserve an office.
You do. I mean, you do. Exactly. Yeah, and I think we will definitely work towards that. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Tangent.
That was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's jump back over here. Questions.
Bimmer Kavit? I don't know. Just wanted to say thank you for the set of quad rails. Absolutely amazing sounding and perfect clarity, even under super heavy distortion.
That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Those pickups are neat. We don't sell very many of them, but they are very cool.
Burl Investments. Thoughts on AI creating music with voice sounds of actual artists?
I think it is a very loaded situation and question, and very loaded. Something's going to have to get figured out.
that just happened with we talked about this last week with Drake and I forget who. But anyways, they did a song. Oh, it was Drake and The Weeknd, maybe? But they never actually performed the song. It was just an AI song. But there's no real copyright infringement because they never actually performed the song in the first place. So what law or what does that fall under? Like likeness and whatever? Today, the thing I was going to mention this tonight too. Today, the thing that was announced that Ed Sheeran won his case for not copying the whatever song he was alleged to copy, and his whole thing was
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye, that's right. But his whole thing was there's only so many notes, and if music goes on long enough, it's bound to happen. So either we stop making music or we stop suing each other. And I really, really am super happy that that thing came out that way because I've said it for a long time. There's only so many chords, and you're gonna repeat, especially a folk singer like him.
Well, I think you left the room, but there was a juror who Ed Sheeran had a guitar. That was part of the court.
I heard that, yeah.
So he showed how he songwrites with a guitar to the jurors. And they were like, oh, this is how that works? Because they probably don't know,
Yeah,
right?
right.
What a songwriting...
Yeah,
Anyway.
what the creative process looks like or how you
Yeah.
do it. Yeah. It's not like you're listening to the radio and you start singing your own lyrics over somebody else's song. It's not how it works.
I mean, unless you go to
I
open
suppose it could be, unless you go to open mic. That's true. Anyway, so yeah, that's an interesting question. The AI thing, I think, is next level of this kind of Ed Sheeran conversation that it's uncharted waters so far. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, and people are saying, like, it sounded nothing like Marvin. And what their biggest argument was he did, like,
The mashup
a
thing?
mashup. But, I mean, people do mashups all the time, and they can sound alike, but it's a different song. Like, So it's been happening forever.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is Ed Sheeran said something very powerful. He's like, I will not be the piggy bank for somebody else to shake. Because the thing that people don't realize, and it said it was the estate of Marvin Gaye or whatever, but it was none of his family.
Right.
So it was the ownership rights of whoever owned that music. So it was literally a commercial endeavor. There was no, this was not genuine. It was a lawyer ambulance chasing the whole deal, really.
I'm sure somebody might have helped, but he did pose it as a question, so we'll say it out loud. Curtis Chavez. Anyone have a recommendation for an acoustic guitar that's not huge, that can be heard next to a Spinit piano?
Spin it piano?
Yes. I have an ES 125, but I might not get to amplify my guitar.
I mean, anything could be loud enough for that. It depends on your budget. But any of the Taylor auditorium, the auditorium's the big one. Concert? There's a medium-sized Taylor that's pretty awesome. Any of the Breedlove stuff is going to be smaller. If you're a smaller person, you don't want a huge dreadnought, like a Martin-sized dreadnought. I mean, the McPherson Sable and the Sable Touring, those are both amazing. Carbon fiber stuff, really loud and sounds great. Yeah, I think those would be good to start.
Random Guitar says, by the way, it's great to pop in. I miss most Thursdays because our band rehearses on Thursdays.
Oh, thanks, man.
We have a day off tonight, so I figured I'd visit with y'all.
Thank you.
I feel like a lot of people have band rehearsal on Thursday.
I feel like they do.
Somebody else always pops in early and they're like, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to rehearsal. I'll watch it tomorrow. Randy Crooks. I just picked up a Hercules 7 guitar stand. Have you used Hercules products before?
Lots. Yeah, we used to have tons of them.
Yeah. Is that the one you like donated to a stage on accident one time?
Oh, yeah. I've lost them before. I sure have.
Yeah.
Yep. I think
Haas
we've all done that.
Haas says, "Are you gonna check out Fat Mike's new punk museum in Vegas?"
Oh, I didn't know about it, but I might be going to Vegas later this year, so I would definitely like to do that.
Who is that? I don't know.
Fat Mike is a punk singer with, not singer, but part of a band. I'm blanking it out right now. It's not Bad Brains. It's not, hang on, I'm going to Google it and cheat because, and somebody's going to say, and I'm going to feel stupid, but, No Effects.
That's what Jeremy Kendall just said.
Yeah, No Effects. And he something to do with Me First and the Gimme Gimmes too? Maybe. But No Effects is what I know him from. But the punk museum would be sweet because I like punk music. I'm not like super versed, but I have listened to a lot of it.
Donovan J. Dylan in Hi-Fi, the DAC.
Digital audio converter.
Sure, most important part of the setup. As an analog pickup guy, do you agree that there is no way that a cheap DAC processor in solid state modeling can achieve analog fidelity? That is a very technical question.
Well, yes and no. I think that even, let's see, the most careful way to say this would be, I think most of the quality digital, there's a couple things here. Most of the quality digital modeling devices out there right now are good enough. You also have to remember that Guitar Signal is stupid. Guitar Signal, when we talk about smartphone, dumb phone, we talk about hi-fi versus guitar. Guitar is dumb. Guitar is the simplest. It's not that hard. It's very, very, it's very easy in comparison to other things. So I think most everything, even in the very reasonable range, like from the Tonex thing on up, probably anything like this thing's $800. It's fine. I think it's good. And I think it's just going to continue to get better. I think that the digital stuff is not going to continue to get better on the high end. It's going to get better. The better stuff is going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and more accessible as we go, like everything else does. Like any other digital technology, it's going to come down, down, down further. So no, I think it's fine. I think it's really good.
The distortion principle wants to know what's your opinion of rail hammer pickups, and is there any real benefit to that style of pickup?
They're really cool. I have a standing offer to get some from somebody, and I need to talk to him and get some and do a take apart video like we used to do with those because they're cool.
Shenanigans. Your thoughts on the PRS SE 245 standard?
Get it. All that stuff is good. All that SE stuff is really good.
Why are guitar names so long? What were we watching the other day and it was like, the name is so long?
I don't remember. I think it was a knife.
It was.
Yeah, it was a knife.
Case or somebody.
It was a case knife, and it was like this model.
Yeah.
Submodel.
I feel like guitars are like that
Jigged
too, though.
bone. Yes, I agree.
I'm like, what is all of these letters
Yeah,
and numbers?
and they all mean stuff, and it's just a guitar. Yeah.
Rob Murrah. Humbuckers have 6 slugs and 6 screws.
Yes.
Isn't that an arbitrary choice? It seems like an argument could be made for either 12 slugs or 12 screws, and the current design is just tradition.
Actually, And I hate it when people start comments on YouTube with that because it makes them sound like they're going to be a know-it-all. So let me retract the actually. What's really cool about your question is it's actually the opposite. All slugs is how Seth Lover designed the original humbucker. We have a whole video on this, and it's actually one of the highest viewed videos on my channel. It's called Should You Adjust Your Humbucker Screws? Something like that. The screws came about because the marketing people at Gibson at the time, in the mid-50s, said P90s have these adjustable screws, and if we don't have anything adjustable for the people to fiddle with, basically, they're going to wonder what the problem is. So Seth Lover added humbucker screws, but in the original patent, they were all slugs. So it's just a throwback to the P90 pickup is really all it is. And they're kind of annoying and pointless, and it would be cool if we didn't have to use them.
Who says you do?
Who says you do? Now it's tradition the other way. If I took screws out and we did like flat top pickups with no screw holes, people would be like, the other way. So.
Is that like an Eminem song?
Mm-hmm. It is.
That's what I heard when you did that.
I know. I get it.
All right. That's funny. Burl Investments. I've noticed that all of the Player Series Fender guitars fret ends are terrible. What has been your experience?
My experience up until about 6 or 8 months ago has been the same. I'm actually thinking about, I got a couple of more project guitars. I have some American Fenders in here right now that we're going to do some builds on. I'm working on them right now. And when those guitars get done, I am going to buy another Player Series Strat and see if the quality has come up in the last couple of months. Because they have been a little sketchy on fret ends.
Sketchy.
I mean, it takes 5 minutes to fix, or 15 minutes to fix, but it's, but still.
Random Guitar says, by the way, Dylan, I loved your level-headed commentary on the CEO change at Gibson. It's good to see someone not reacting like the sky was falling.
Thank you. Because there was a lot of opposite comments about that.
Tree of Life says, have you ever bought a Gibson?
Nope, and I won't.
But whoever makes the Gibson funny stuff is
No,
funny.
they're talking about the actual
I know.
knockoff guitars. Yeah, the Gibson USA guy's hilarious. Yeah, I won't do that. I don't support counterfeiting.
Fat Philosopher, PRS SE versus Yamaha Rebstar.
SE all day long.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Yep says, can you guys come up with something that is actually better doing it the old-timey way because it's, quote, tradition vintage?
I don't know what you mean.
I think he's talking about the pickup, screw, slug stuff.
Pickup screw slug stuff? I mean, I don't know about better. I know that if I make it, it's going to sound good. I don't know what better means in relation to what, because there's no real, I don't know. I mean, I know for sure, that's what I should do. I should just make the same pickup with no slugs versus, all slugs versus screws, and put it in a video. That's what I should do.
And tell the story, because maybe people don't know the story.
Maybe I have a video about it, and it's really well watched.
A lot of people knew the story. They were like, it's just marketing.
But maybe I should do that video. Like, the video title would be something like, do your humbuckers need screws? And then we make 2 DAFs. Or maybe we don't. No, you'd have to make 2 because I would have to make the bobbins different. So we make 2 identical DAFs, same wine count, same everything.
Same magnet, Gauss strength, all that stuff. Make them super identical. And then just do one with all slugs and a cover, and one with slug screws and a regular cover. And see if they sound different. They would.
Somebody else has said all slugs versus all screws.
The thing is, they will sound different because you can't. I mean, I can get them to sound pretty dang close because that's what we do.
Can you do a traditional one and an all slug and an all screw?
I could. Yep. Maybe I'll do that.
All right.
Maybe I will do that.
Van Shank Guitar says, I make a pickup with 12 Alnico 5 pole pieces, no slugs, no screws, no bar magnets.
Yes, that's cool. I've done that too. I like that a lot.
Bimmer Kvit, I don't know. How do you say a V when it's not
I don't know.
in the right place?
I don't know.
I feel like there's some kind of, this should be cluing me into something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I apologize for mispronouncing your name. Do you have any secret menu products or plans for any Charlie Christian style, wide range, or at least individual magnet style or Cuneife mag pickups now that those are more wanted and available?
Not really, because the materials are real hard to get still.
And then he added, or any other weird, unique style pickups.
Yeah, I got a couple things up my sleeve that I don't want to talk about yet that I'm working on. Yep. Maybe later this year.
Charles Wallace says, no slugs needed. My smoothie has only slugs.
So our slant 6 only has slugs, but it only has 6. It doesn't have 12. And then the smoothie has... I don't remember what he's got. I made him some cool stuff, so I don't remember. I've made him a bunch of cool things over the years, so...
Cool things.
Well, you know.
David Mitchell, I just heard last night on a 5-watt world video that Lover insisted on the adjustable pole pieces for the Fender Cuneife pickups he designed. Didn't want them to be seen as lesser than the original humbuckers.
Yep. Again, for appearances, because guitar players are goofy about that kind of stuff. And still to this day, people think that there's only the pickup screws that stick out are the ones that are in there. I've had that happen many times. People don't realize that. There are 12 of those magnets in that pickup, not the 6 that you can see that are offset from each other. A lot of people think that there's only the, you know, where it's 3 here and 3 here, but they're offset from each other. Mm-hmm. No, there's 12. You're just only seeing 3 of each. Yeah. Super chat.
Super chat from First Sergeant Richard. Thank you for
Hello,
the super
sir.
chat.
Thank you.
Question: any advantage to having the screws in a humbucker arched to match fretboard radius degree?
No, because the slugs aren't.
That's it.
Yeah.
Why would people do it? Marketing?
Yep. I mean, Strat tele pickups aren't like that. Strat pickups aren't like that. I mean, the staggery ones are, but the flat ones aren't. Lots of pickups are flat, even though the radius is radiused.
Fred Bunn says, can I make pickups out of only inductors?
You have to have a magnet. So like a ferrite core or an air core or something like that won't work. You have to have a magnet in that coil.
Yep says, do any of Dylan's pickups appear in limited boutique guitar runs like Phil McKnight's pickups?
Yes. I can't tell you which ones, but they are there.
Tim Ziegler says, I suggest you date and sign the backs of your pickups. Thanks.
I sign the backs, but I don't date them, and I probably should. I've thought about that, actually.
Well, that doesn't get anything done.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's dad says the V is a U in ancient Latin. Okay. I knew it was something.
Oh, like Robert Kubica.
I have no idea what that is.
He was an
Who
F1
that is.
driver. He's a Russian F1 driver, and his name was Robert Kubica, but it was KV something, something, something.
Yeah, I'm even reading the obvious L as an I. So he's telling me it's pronounced Bimmer Colt. Dumb metalhead joke.
Oh.
But
Okay.
it is. I was seeing it as KVIT, but it's KVLT.
Oh.
Bimmer Colt.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Thank you. Anyway. Let's see. I think I caught up here.
Cool.
Let's scroll back to the bottom.
Oh, another super chat.
I don't get to announce it before I announce the
Oh,
sound.
because you got to have the sound. Sorry.
Just interrupting my process over here.
Sorry.
John OJF, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, John.
I'm working on my E339 project and am wondering what is the difference between your DAF and humbucker sound-wise?
That is a humbucker. Our DAF is our PAF humbuckers. Yeah. That
So
is
there's
it.
no difference.
There is no difference. That is it. You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat.
Um,
And that's what I would put in that guitar. By the way, that's what I would recommend.
So now, if I see a name and it says JVAN, am I supposed to say that it's Juan?
Oh, no.
I'm running it all together now. JVANB231 says, my Challenger X came with Dillons. No idea which ones, but they are great.
DAFs. If it was a Challenger X.
That's pretty
I think you missed
cool.
another super chat.
I know. You have to give me a second.
Okay.
Am I running this show or are you running
Well, I
this
just
show?
don't like to make the super chats wait too long, but...
I'm not trying to make them wait. I usually have to wait for you to stop talking anyway. So,
Oh, that is true.
I mean, pick your battles, man.
You're right.
I feel like they're challenging me. Eric Splitgerber.
I'd go with that.
Thank you for the super chat, Eric. I appreciate you both. Thanks for all the great content. Thoughts or perspective on flying with a guitar, unbolt the neck, and taking carry-on?
Don't unbolt the neck. I would try to carry it on. The FAA, TSA, whoever's in charge of that, here's what I would do. I would carry the guitar on, still use a good case, and pay the little extra to board early. Because then you'll have access to a closet. And put it in a closet. Or put it in an overhead bin, and it will be fine. They have to let you take it on. But it's first come, first serve for space. So just pay the extra $35 or whatever it usually costs to board early, and then you'll be fine. That's what I do.
All right. Have you reached out to him yet?
Oh, Keith H., I got your stuff, and I got your note, and I am taking care of you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks for the super chat, Keith H. It jumped out at me because
We talked
we
about this
see you
earlier.
regularly here.
Yeah.
I just had a phone call. Hope I didn't miss anything too good.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. You might have to watch
Thanks
it in
for the
replay.
Super chat. That was fun.
And yes, they returned to sender your package because of your dumb mailman situation. And I will be handling your package tomorrow.
You mean like a mail package,
Yeah,
right?
like his mail package. Yes. I will be handling his mail package tomorrow.
I didn't realize that sounded just as bad. Whoops. M-A-I-L. Oh my gosh. Oof.
That was funny.
Super chat from Vinny's World. +1 for Leslie running the show. She's messing it up right now, man.
Thank you, Vinny. I agree.
Oh, man. That was funny.
Anytime you can get you crying enough to laugh or laughing enough to cry is pretty good. That happened last week too.
Did it?
Yeah, I feel like it's been happening a lot lately, which means we're having fun, so that's good.
Oh, man. All right.
Make sure you guys have some off-topic questions coming 15 minutes from now. Oh,
Stop
man.
reading ahead. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Mike says, what are the possibilities to build a pickup? A real single coil and a P90 side by side and not a P-rail clone.
You could do it. It would be no big deal, but you would have to have a special route for it because it would be huge. You know, it'd be physically this way. It would be very wide. But it could be done, yeah. What?
These people mess with me, man. It said, and we went off topic 15 minutes early. Mail packages. Hey, that's after hours talk. I wish my wife would handle my package more often. Oh, all right. Whew. Five-0. Is he a cop? Aloha
Maybe.
from Hawaii. My Mike Stern Yamaha Pacifica Bridge Pickup SD. The screws don't hold it level. It dips toward the neck. Does it make a difference? Is using cardboard to level it okay?
What I would do is take it out. No, you kind of want them to be straight. So what I would do is take it out and see if the coil, the spring, is sometimes on those guitars the spring will be way too long. And what it does is when you compress the spring, it pops out to the side, kind of on the screw, like it fits the screw kind of crooked, and then it'll push the pickup sideways. So if the spring is way longer than it needs to be, then just take some snips and cut the spring off a little bit shorter so that it will sit in there straight. That's what I would do. I've had to do that before. Actually, the springs that we ship are pretty long, and so sometimes I will do that too. Plus, it makes it easier and it doesn't go flying across the room when you put it together.
I'm never going to think about mail the same way again. I'm just saying. It says, I did not think to ask my neighbor to handle my mail package. Guess what came in the mail today?
What?
That's it. At work, I just have my secretary handle the package.
Oh my God.
All right. Oh, man.
This is funny.
Killing
Good
me.
stuff.
Killing me. John OJF, thank you for the super chat. What is your plan on pickup combo set with the Hyper Switch rig?
So there's two different guitars. I've actually got the one right here, and it is gonna get wired up in the morning and put in the guitar, but it's just gonna be 3 single coils. We're gonna do the traditional 3 single coils with the Hyper Switch. That's this one, and then the other one is gonna go in a Telecaster, and it's gonna be a variation on the Brent Mason Tele. So it's gonna have a mini humbucker. Yes, we made mini humbucker. Firebird. It's gonna be a Firebird neck pickup. It's gonna be a Strat middle pickup and a Telecaster bridge pickup in the Telecaster. So that's gonna be the 2 different guitars that we build up for this. It's gonna be cool. I think you guys are gonna dig it.
I hope to never live to hear my mail package gets rejected.
True.
And Burl Investments is the one that said what came in the mail, and he was like, got him. Yeah, I had more time to process, so just threw it out at you.
I mean, don't even get me started. I could tell you, I could get you rolling on the floor right now, but I'm not going to. Yeah.
Don't, please. I've already cried.
Because there's soft packages and hard packages and ones that don't fit in the box and ones that do. And
Jamal Kareem. Really enjoyed the Gibson video you did the other day.
Thank you.
Are you done?
So, well, I was about to say, somebody
I can tell.
got in the comments and was like, I don't know why you're talking so bad about people that don't like Gibsons. And I'm like, I didn't reply to him because I was like, then you don't get it. Because I'm not talking bad about anybody. I'm being realistic about what people's personalities, what we think about guitar stuff. If you feel convicted by something when I say people that don't like Gibsons for these kind of dumb reasons, and you're one of those people that thinks one of those dumb reasons, and you feel convicted by that, that's not my fault. Especially when those reasons are legitimately, like, kind of dumb. They are. They're not real.
Timothy Potter, thank you for the super chat. He said, which of your pickups would make the most handleable package?
Oh my god.
You have to answer as a super chat.
I know. Probably
I had to ask.
two P90s. Because Strat pickups, I actually have to package them differently. They don't fit correctly.
So a good package is two
Yeah.
P90s.
Yes. Strat pickups, you kind of have to stuff them in there and they're a little crooked.
Oh, wow. Thanks for the super chat, Tim. Sarcasm intended.
Oh, man.
Let's see. Oh, can't move on yet. Super chat from Doug Santinella. Thank you, Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Do you know why my Lawler Firebird pickups came with neck 4-wire and bride 2-wire?
Bridge 2-wire,
Bridge
probably.
2-wire, normally only split neck?
I don't know the answer to that. I didn't know they came like that. No idea. I wouldn't split the bridge pickup or on a humbucker like that, a mini humbucker like that, so maybe that's why. Personally, I wouldn't.
50, thank you for the super chat. He said, thanks, you're a genius. That's been bugging me for 20 years.
What were we talking about with him?
I don't remember what his question was. It's gone now. So.
Well, I'm glad. That is no longer bugging you.
50. That was the Aloha from Hawaii. I remember that much.
Oh, is he crooked pickup guy? Maybe.
I don't think so. Rob Murray says 1 P90 and 2 pots make us a package.
That's funny. Y'all are killing her. I think it's hilarious.
Jeffrey Egan said he would have thought 8 balls. I think it's worse when I can, like, see the person.
I know, because we know some of you, so it makes it harder to manage.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
David Mitchell said he was asking whether Seth Lover didn't want his wide range pickups to be seen as less than his humbucker design.
Oh.
Not a big deal. Just wanted confirmation.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was there was definite marketing going on when they did that because it was a kind of playing catch up to Gibson. So there was probably a bunch of that going on. You know, for appearances and marketability. You could see that for sure.
All right. Sean Joint. Hey, Dylan, just wanted to say the pickups I just got from you are going in my Warlock that I built at TTG.
Oh, excellent. And that was very cool. I've been keeping up with all those videos. That's very awesome. Thank you.
50 was crooked pickup.
Okay, cool.
Rob Murrah. Do you recommend a particular online course for learning how to solder and change pickups?
I do. There's a link in the description. I made it, and it's awesome. There's a how-to solder course in the description, and if it's not there, right, easy to find, just go to DylanTalksTone.com, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see it on the front page.
It's also like on the classes tab, isn't it? Is
Yeah,
that
it might be
different?
on the classes tab too. It's a
Doug-
teachable course.
Whoops. Okay, hang on. Still saying the same name, but we're going to grab a super chat. Doug Santinello, thank you for the super chat. He said, that's cool. I didn't split either anyway. By the way, I brought your non-reverse home in a soft case in an overhead bin, and I pay for early boarding. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, he bought the blue guitar that I just built.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, did he just bring it home?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet. That means Matt owes me money.
Nice. That's funny. Better to be owed money than owe
money?
people money.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Oh my gosh. Even Charles Wallace got in on the game, man.
That's funny.
Hang on. I'll just make sure. Oh, nope. Mark Hot, thank you for the super chat.
Hey, Mark.
Look into ordering the Greenie Les Paul. If I ordered it today, I would get it in November. Holy moly.
That's crazy, but I think you should. I was thinking about ordering that same guitar. I didn't know it was going to be that kind of weight. But that's very cool. I would get that guitar if I was you.
And another super chat. I love super chats. They're fun.
They are.
Not just because I get to push a noisy button, but Sassy Cat, thank you for the super chat. I recently purchased a Fender Masterbuilt, and I can tell you that it has a different feel from a Japanese, Mexican, American-made one. It seems to me that people grousing about the price are just angry that they can't afford one. The F and F are impeccable. Fit and finish.
Fit and finish.
Yeah.
You know, Seth, first of all, thank you for the super chat. Second of all, I was just thinking, I have a guitar coming for a review, and I was just thinking the other day about, well, and I was looking at some other products too, knives and some other stuff, and you got to go back to like what Matt at Texas Toast says about cool things are just cool because they're cool. And you don't necessarily need to make a value. The value proposition doesn't come from the sum of its parts a lot of times. You know, like, I don't know. I bought my Les Paul not because I thought it was an X percentage better than an Epiphone, even though it is. I bought it because I wanted it, because it's cool. And sometimes a premium product is premium because it's cool and because it gives you a feeling that a lesser product doesn't give you. Sometimes that feeling is not a tangible thing. Sometimes that feeling is the exclusivity of knowing that you have a master-built guitar that nobody else will have because you have that one. And it's the exclusivity of it is a master-built guitar. And there is that feeling that you get, you know, like when I buy a knife that I bought off a drop that sold out in 30 seconds and it was like, okay, this knife was not cheap, but it was awesome and it sold out in 30 seconds and it's really hard to get. And there's just a really cool feeling that comes with that is part of the ownership experience that some people don't understand the value of that. And you're right, it's because they haven't experienced it. And sometimes it's because they're people who will never value that. A person who goes and buys a Nissan Leaf to get back and forth to work and that they don't care, or a Toyota Corolla and they don't care because it's a car that gets them back and forth to work, they're not probably a driving enthusiast. I am a driving enthusiast. I appreciate Alcantara leather, and I appreciate horsepower, and I appreciate all the things that my car has, even though they do exactly the same thing. And that person could think you overpaid for something, but I didn't, because I enjoy the experience. And I think that thing gets lost in guitar stuff so much when people just, well, it's just as good as. No, it's not. Because it's not going to give you the experience of opening the case, smelling the smell, and all the stuff that that guitar gave you that a Mexican Strat doesn't give you. And I'm glad that you experienced that. It's going to come out in a video, because sometimes, really premium products are for people that appreciate premium products. And if you don't, then it's not for you. That doesn't make it too expensive. That's what I think about our products.
All right. It is 9:01.
Okay.
I still have like 14 comments. Do you want to do lightning round still?
Yeah,
or you
let's
wanna
just do like, is it 9:01?
Yep.
Let's see if we can knock through as many of them in 5 minutes. And then
Okay.
we're going to go off topic.
Ed DePriest just got off the phone with my son. He loves the P90s and his TTG Casanova build.
Excellent.
Y'all rock. Nope, that's for after. He says after. Sunbase. Hey Dylan, what is the most similar pickup to the old PV Super Ferrite single coils that were the size of humbuckers?
I don't know. I've not thought about that.
Tim Ziegler. Dog ears or soap bar P90s for the SG standard I'm building?
Soap bar.
Jeremy Kendall, picking up the guitar again after many years. I have a 92 PV Strat and very few dollars. Do I save up for a $200 to $300 guitar or $200 to $300 in electronic upgrades? Any thoughts? Gut instinct?
I would just keep saving and see where it takes you. And keep playing. Keep playing and keep saving. Don't spend any money. Just keep playing and keep saving and see where it takes you, if you're just getting back to it.
Marcia Murray, what's a hot bridge pickup to pair with your DAF?
Super 8.
Karen Bassett, how can I tell what gauge strings my nut is cut to fit?
If it's a stock nut, somewhere between probably 9s and 11s, and anywhere above 11s, I would worry about it, and anything below 9s, it'll start to get a little plinky.
Fat Philosopher, is there an intelligent reason to hate Gibson?
No.
Tree of Life, do you have a guitar set up for slide? If so, what tuning and string sizes?
I do not. I don't really play slide.
Help him out if y'all know. Fat Philosopher, what is the next innovation you want to see in amp technology?
I just want to see the modeling stuff keep getting better and more accessible for more people.
Charles Wallace, good thing pickups don't have ball bearings in them. That would make an interesting packages. LOL. Sorry, I had
That's
to.
funny.
Mike Ouellette, I apologize. I watched how to solder before putting pickups in my Tremonti SE. Video was great. My skills, not so much.
You'll get it.
Burl Investments, thoughts on Kiesels?
I think they're cool. I think they're neat.
Alan Phillips, it would be cool if you made a video changing out the screws on a wide range humbucker with the Cutife screws Curtis Novak is selling now, and to hear the difference. Would that be something you'd make?
Probably not, but that is an interesting upgrade to do.
And last one, Mario Navarrete. Dylan, I never hear you talk about guitar pedals at all. Do you personally use any? Do you have a favorite?
I personally do use them. Right now, the overdrive of choice is the Wampler Moxie. I'm using some I also like the PRS horse meat IKEA meatball, and I like the Halcyon. I like the D&M drive. Mostly I'm using the, what is that thing? The Tonex pedal for my amp stuff. There you go.
And people were saying they were glad we extended the guitar talk to compensate for all the package banter.
Yes.
And also, Bimmer Cult said, sorry for all the questions. I just love your punk but scientific approach to all of this.
I appreciate that.
All right.
All right, off-topic hour. So basically the way this works is you get to ask us anything you want. Maybe we'll answer it. We answer most things. And if you want to ask a guitar question after 9 o'clock, it has to be a super chat.
All right. Let's catch the ones that were already there.
No, we got some early ones.
Yep.
Nice.
Machu says, can you explain the t-shirt?
It says Dylan. And it's golf livery.
What does livery mean?
Like racing colors.
Oh.
Do you want to explain your t-shirt?
I can. I mean, I think the words are obvious. It is and it is actually from the same place where his shirt comes from.
Yeah, we accidentally wore the
hat,
same.
That's his hat.
Yep.
On his shirt. But it is a coffee shop. There's many locations, Biddy and Buse, but they only hire folks with disabilities. And it was a really neat, we actually went to one in Savannah. It was a really cool experience. I supported them through a work thing that I'm in. Bought a bunch of like swag for folks at work. So just really cool thing to support.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the messages.
Because Leslie is an internet accessibility specialist. And so we learn a lot about people with disabilities and how to make sure they can order stuff and make sure they can. So yeah, it's kind of neat.
Not evaluated his website. Don't judge me by his website.
I think there's a super chat.
Oh.
I think we missed. Or it just came in, I think.
Oh, here we go. Thank you for the super chat, Vinny's World. The amount is 5.04. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks,
Even the
Vinny.
thought of the money amount. That's great. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
All right. Let me grab the other ones that I had and then we'll scroll back.
Okay.
Someone's dad, off topic. If you want a Benchmade mini Infidel used at a knockdown price, drive over to Noonan and get it from us at Pawn Express.
Noonan. Where's that?
Georgia. We've talked about him before. He works at a pawn shop in Georgia.
That's good to know. Mini Infidel would be cool.
Well, they have one at Pawn Express in Noonan, Georgia.
I don't have one of those.
Thank you. That'd be weird. Like, we walk in there and be like, excuse me, is
We're
someone's
looking for
dad in
someone's
here?
dad. That's like who's on first.
Is someone's dad here? Oh, man. Okay. Yep. Do you guys do any knife training? Is knife training a thing?
It is.
What? What do they train you to do?
It's close quarter combat stuff.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds terrifying.
Mm-hmm. There is a knife, I can't remember the brand, but it's an ex-Navy SEAL makes it. It's not Half-Face Blades, it's somebody else. I can see the knife in my mind. I can see the shape of it. But when you buy it, it comes with a plastic trainer in the box. So it's a plastic knife.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a blue gun, but a blue knife in the box with it. That's exactly the same shape as the knife. I can't remember what the brand is, but it's really cool.
Mark Stanton, new to F1. That's cool. Mark.
Cool.
Why are there sometimes 2 races per weekend? Also, can you explain the qualifying? What happens when they get locked out in the second and third session?
Okay, so this is a weird one. The way Formula One qualifying works is it starts with 20 cars in the first qualifying session. They eliminate the bottom 5. Then 15 cars goes into qualifying 2. And they eliminate the bottom 5 again. And then the top 10 go for pole position. And then wherever you were eliminated in that is where you start in the race. The reason there was extra races this weekend, if you watched last weekend, that was not a conventional thing. That's a new thing that they're trying a few times, 6 times this year, I think, where they do a practice, then they do a qualifying for a sprint race on Saturday, then they do the sprint race, and then they do another qualifying for the race on Sunday, and then they do the race on Sunday. I don't like it as much. I like the normal practice on Friday 2, practice 3 on Saturday morning, qualify on Saturday, race on Sunday. That's the normal schedule.
Charles Wallace also said, love your hat and shirt. I think that was before I answered the question.
Oh, thanks.
Jeffrey Egan, Dylan, do those knives you collect have hand-forged blades?
Some of them do, and some of them don't. Well, I don't know if I have any hand-forged ones. Most of them... I was looking at some kitchen knives today, actually, because I am going to probably buy Japanese steel for my kitchen knives. And if I buy Japanese steel, it's going to be hand-forged. Mm-hmm. They're actually going to be handmade knives. Most of the stuff I think that I buy is either mid-tech custom or production, which means they're usually cut out with like a water jet. Out of a plate, which is not hand forged. So, like this knife right here, I just got this yesterday. This is a Montana Knife Works, Montana Knife Company, and this is 51-200 ball bearing steel. This knife weighs 1.6 ounces. It is unbelievably light. Super, super thin. It's a hunting knife actually, but I got it for just a regular EDC everyday carry knife because it's so light, and it has a backpack clip on it, and I had it clipped on my backpack. It's really, really cool. But this is, I would imagine this is water jetted for this price. I think if you're going to get into hand forged stuff, you're going to get into $800 to $1,000 for a blade.
Really?
Yeah, at that point. Yep.
Rusty says, who do you think attacked the Kremlin with a drone? The Russians. I think it was a conspiracy.
I don't know.
Conspiracy. I don't know. Fat Philosopher says, I personally like smaller nuts that don't get in my way.
I get that.
David Mitchell said, I was super excited the first time I heard Leslie make an accessibility reference. Not an expert yet, but a website guy learning about accessibility.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
That is really cool.
I'm always learning about it because she's always telling me stuff. And then we'll be out somewhere and we'll be looking at like a menu at a restaurant or something or whatever, and she'll be like, they need to fix this.
Yeah,
this isn't
I'm
good.
very judgmental.
Yeah, she's really like, well...
You can't unsee it once you learn, though.
Yes.
So it's an awareness.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get that.
Keep my skills up.
Yeah.
Karen Bassett says, what do you do with your knives?
Well, everybody always says that. Like, what do you use your knives for? And I don't have an answer, except that I know that they come out of my pocket for some use multiple times a day.
I mean, today I opened packages and I had to use 2 different of my knives.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Why did you have to use... I saw you used your Microtech the first time, obviously.
Because I was in the car.
Because you were in the car.
That was what I had.
And then you used your Civivi button lock. Why did you grab that instead of using your one that was in your purse? Oh, because it wasn't zipped somewhere.
Right.
It was just easier to get to. Yeah.
Because it was on my desk.
Sometimes I have an actual use. Like, sometimes there's a reason why I'm going to carry a particular knife because I know that I'm going to do this particular kind of work with it, and it's tough enough to do it and whatever. Sometimes it's because it matches what I'm wearing. Or it's dressy, or, you know, because you're dressing up to go somewhere. And sometimes I don't care, and I just grab one.
The Humble Hillbilly. Just went down an Ed Sheeran rabbit hole because of one of your Facebook posts. Glad he won. Things are getting wild out there.
Yeah, me too. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that don't like him or whatever, but I think in principle, it's really important that we have freedom of movement when it comes to the amount of chords and notes that we have.
John OJF. Have you seen dandelion leaves for sale at the supermarket? I'm tempted to pick the ones in my yard and go to the farmer's market.
I have not.
You have never?
No.
Oh, they're definitely there. We actually know someone who eats dandelions out of his yard. I'll give you one guess. Billy.
Oh, really? Yeah. Actually, I think I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. Trying to catch up, y'all. There is a lot of comments. And there are a lot of talking back and forth, which is super cool.
Good.
Oh, someone's dad said, dang it all. Boss says we sold the mini infidel today. My day off. Even so, come to Noonan.
Well, we might then.
Fat Philosopher says, here in Japan, the cops freak out if you have a knife in the car. How about the states?
No.
Can't speak for every state, but definitely not here.
Definitely not here. There are rules. In Georgia, there's none. But, like, in California, if you have an automatic, it has to be under 2 inches. I don't think you can carry anything. What did I just learn something crazy the other day? Colorado is 3.5 is the blade length limit, which, you know, my normal carry knife is a Chris Reeve Sabenza, and that's over 3.5. So, that must be why all the Spider codes are like 2.7.
Because they're made there, yeah.
Because they're made there, yeah.
Yep, says, I'm just waiting for Dylan to go all in and do home blacksmithing, making knives out of leaf springs and stuff.
I don't want to. I would totally design a knife with another company. And I could probably very easily do that in China, but I don't want to do it in China. I would like to do it with an American company. So if you know anybody who knows anybody who knows anybody, that's something that I would definitely do. I'd like to design a knife, I'd like to design a beer, and I'd like to design a bourbon. Those would be the...
Charles Wallace says, do you hand sharpen your knives or do you use a green wheel electric sharpener?
Oh, no. I hand sharpen everything.
He loves it.
Yep. I call it Netflix and sharpen.
Yeah, it's like an addiction.
I have a strap that sits in a drawer, a leather strap that sits in a drawer over here. And most all of the knives in the house, hers included and the ones in the kitchen, are so sharp all the time that all they need is a leather strap. Usually, I don't have to touch them except for just a leather strap for a few minutes.
Fat Philosopher says, what old movie franchise should they just put out to pasture already? Personally, I would be fine if they never made another James Bond or Indiana Jones movie.
I like James Bond. I don't care about Indiana Jones.
I mean, at this point, as much as I love them, I would say, like, Fast and Furious needs to stop.
Oh, duh.
Like, come up with another one.
8 movies ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that would be my pick. What would be your pick?
What's the one about the people that dance in the...
No idea what you're doing.
I
I suck at charades. You suck at charades.
do. Anyway.
Dance.
Yeah.
Give me more.
Isn't it a Disney movie that there's dance one and then there's another dance one and then there's another dance one after that?
Dance?
Yeah, I think they sing and dance.
Sing?
Anyway, I don't know. I'll think of it, and maybe somebody else will
That's
understand
so
my
weird.
vagueness.
I have no idea. Let's see. Sir Sneaker Pimp says, do you like berserker knives?
Berserker.
Berserker?
If you're talking about a brand, I don't have any experience, and if you're talking about the style of blade, I also don't have any experience, but it's not a... I only buy stuff that I pretty much will carry and use. And that's not something that I would probably use.
Jason Albert says, I know what you mean, Leslie, about judging accessibility. I'm constantly judging door hardware and closers for ADA compliance.
Oh, yeah, because he's a locksmith door guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Haas says, Dandelion tea is dope. Oh, Doc just showed up. You're a
Hey,
little
Doc.
late, Doc, or you just want to be here for the after hours. It's been crazy.
It has been crazy. Doc, the replay is definitely worth the
man.
rewatch, I will say.
They made me cry.
She was laughing so hard she was crying. It was
They made
pretty
me
good.
cry. I was just going to leave it at that. Anyway,
It was pretty good.
let's see. Doc says, VW just announced that the current Golf 8 will be the last IC-powered Golf to be developed. Thoughts?
Yeah, I know. I heard. I'm not ready for internal combustions to go away yet. Not because I'm not ready for electric. We've had a hybrid. It's amazing. I think electric cars are very cool. I question the sustainability of them and the real long-term benefit of them existing, and not just the feel-good, oh, hey, I have an electric car, so now I'm saving the world kind of feeling. So I question that a little bit. If they get that sorted, then I'm all for it, because the power's amazing and the cars are amazing. They're great. But right now, I'm still internal combustion. Doc, you and I have talked about this many times. Being back in a turbo forced induction Volkswagen, I mean, I have an Audi, but being back in something like that I'm home. In a turbocharged Audi, I am home. I have missed it.
Jeffrey Egan said, are you talking about Bring It On? That is a cheerleading movie.
Yes.
Jason Albert says, are you talking about High School Musical?
Either of those, both.
I don't think they have, maybe they have subsequent ones, but Bring It On is a cheer movie. High School Musical, that was a really long time ago, and I do think there's a 2, but they didn't, make a bunch.
Okay. I was kind of making a joke, because I don't care about those movies at all.
Well, Brianna, when the first High School Musical came out, Brianna had dances to that, and she danced in Disney World.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I kind of like High School Musical just a
I
little
get
bit.
that.
Plus it's Zac Efron when he first became anything.
Right.
But yeah, you shouldn't go through daily life and just bust out in song.
No.
All right. Haas must have missed earlier when you answered if you were going to check out Fat Mike's new punk museum in Vegas.
I want to. For sure.
Timothy Potter says, why not eat dandelions out of your yard? They are delicious, especially in salads.
Interesting.
I mean, as long as you don't, have a weed guy that comes and sprays crap in your yard.
Yeah, exactly.
A weed guy. Johnny Love says, in the UK, you're only allowed to carry a knife with a manually folding blade less than 3 inches unless you have a good reason.
Manually folding.
Who decides what a good reason is?
And can it lock? And so I know in Europe there's different rules. Like if you buy anything MKM or Fox or any of that stuff that's made in Italy, the flipper tabs come off. So they don't consider a flipper tab to be a
'Cause
manual knife.
Really? Even
You
though you
actually-
have to manually do it?
It can't be a single-handed opening action in Italy. So you actually have to open the knife like an old-fashioned folder. It has to go like this.
Interesting.
If you flip it open, that's one-handed open action, and you can't have that. So there's other rules
Wow.
in other places, yeah.
That would not be fun.
Nope.
Lance Hungerford, I don't know what he does, but he says we make throwing axes, cleavers, and knives.
What do you do?
I knew he was going to be interested.
Yeah, you need to email me. I want an axe.
You have an axe.
No, I mean like, I want like a...
Because you've used the axe that you have?
No, it's a collector thing. I want like a Winkler axe.
To do what?
A
Hang on the
half-fade
wall?
bladed
Are you going to have like a
face blades
creepy
axe.
room with like
Yes.
sharp things hanging in?
Yes.
Make it super creepy?
I want a samurai sword on like the thing.
Ah.
Yeah.
You're going to have like a goth room. I thought it was going to be like a gentleman's room. Apparently it's going to
Hey, if I could have a full set of knight armor on the thing, I would totally have it.
Why?
Because it's so cool.
Okay.
Like at the museum.
Rockbox says, I just got a new 23 Durango Hellcat. I'm not ready for EV until they can figure out how to charge them in under 10 minutes, but that EV power is awesome.
A 23 Durango Hellcat's no joke either. That's cool, man.
Mark Stanton said, you have a weed guy that cares for your lawn. That would be convenient.
I mean, it would.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Vinny's World says, throwing axes.
That's
Doc
cool.
says, I was a very bad dance dad. I tried to get my daughter to choose a Rammstein tune on piano and violin for her interpretive number. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. He would
Yeah.
be a cool dad. Yeah, I could see
That doesn't make you a bad dance
No,
dad.
that makes you a cool
That's pretty
dad.
cool.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Chuck C said, I live in New York State. I'm surprised they haven't outlawed sharp pencils.
That's almost true.
Vinny's World said he needs a medieval fantasy room. And with Frank Frazetta posters too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sir Sneaker Pimp says, what do you think about MotoGP using the sprint formula?
I don't know because it's physically demanding. This might not be a popular opinion, but I think if you're going to make them people work more, you got to pay them more. Because you could die. Every time you get on that bike, you could die. And if you're going to race more, then you need to get paid more.
Kenneth Crickmore. Hey Dylan, have you seen the 12 rotor that Rob Dahm got recently from the designer builder and will be doing the fuel injection and ignition wiring and maybe programming?
No, I didn't see that. That's a lot. He's talking about a Dorito motor.
Oh.
But they stack them.
Haas says,
Oh, shoot.
how did you do that?
I don't know.
I didn't know it could have that many air bubbles.
I didn't either. Hopefully it doesn't ruin it.
Um,
I'm going to have to drink it faster.
Haas says, wait, you don't have knight armor? What a loser.
I know. I don't
And
have a
then-
broadsword either.
Ready? Yep says, one of my neighbors sold a full set of knight armor on Facebook last month, and the replies to the ad were equal parts envy and confusion why anyone would have that.
Oh my god. I actually
did a whole search, incognito window. A few months ago, me and you were talking about something about something came up about the type of sword. It was like some biblical reference to some particular type of sword.
Yeah, and you went down a rabbit
And I
hole.
started Googling. I'm like, wait, I could get an actual Canaanite sword, like in period relic, for like $1,000. I'm like, this is so cool. I mean, it's a dumb way to spend $1,000, but yeah, wow, that's totally
Johnny
cool.
Lev says, I just checked. You can't carry any locking knives in the UK.
That would make sense. They'll have to be slip joints. They have to be short. That would make sense. Yep.
Doc says that 12 rotor is an absolute work of art.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
So you said in that we're caught up.
Yep.
So I'm curious. It's 9:30.
Okay.
Like, I wonder how many people. Is it just us? Like, are we weird? Like, how many people have to use an incognito window?
I wonder how many people are
search.
smart enough to use an incognito window.
No, I'm more curious. Do they have a need to? Because
Oh yeah.
you think?
Oh yeah. They're the ones that are they're telling us to use alternate browsers and junk. They're
Who's
searching
they? Your audience?
people in the yeah.
Oh.
People last week were like, "You need to use Brave," and I'm like, "Oh, you search stuff that I don't search."
I don't know what that is.
Brave is a browser that has zero tracking. There's no. So there's some people that don't like Google because.
I love it. I love Facebook. I love Instagram. I love TikTok. I love Google because there are things out there I didn't even know I needed.
It's true.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fill up a cart and then I'm like, what am I doing? I don't need any of this. Close.
Close. Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know how far everybody is, so I don't know if everybody is just like, that conversation doesn't resonate with me, or if we're just not there yet. Like, I don't know. Oh, Sir Sneaker Pimp says, I always use incognito. Same.
Yeah.
I mean, not when I'm just like on the computer doing normal stuff, but
Right.
I have very random thoughts, and if I pulled up a browser right now on my phone, it's in private mode.
Well, and a lot of times, if you want to research something that is fringy because you want to understand it, I mean, a lot of times, if it's like we were talking about cult podcasts, if I see something on the news about something, or people are like, I can't believe you watched the news. But I mean, you know what I mean. I don't mean on the news like I go home and watch CNN all night or Fox or whatever. I mean, you see something in the news, let's say in the news, and you're like curious about it, and you're like, wait, that's crazy. Did that actually happen? And it sends you down some kind of rabbit hole, socially or economically or whatever that goes down. Sometimes I'll use incognito because I just don't want to then see, like for example, I don't know. What's a good example? Okay. If you wanted to learn what really happened with the drone in Russia. Well, if you started Googling that, then all of a sudden, all of your stuff and your searches and everything would just start to go a certain direction. Or especially like on YouTube, like if you research one subject for one evening, then that's all you see for the whole next month. So I like to use it for that.
Thanks for the super chat, Sassy Cat. I hope that the second Frazetta Epiphone will be the Flirting with Disaster album cover.
Ooh. Interesting.
Sounds fun.
I still like the bees. The original one, the first one.
All right.
Best.
Doug Santinello called me out. I did miss a couple of things he said. Back in the early 80s, we used to teach disarming techniques. One class, there was a police officer in the class, and he told me, I ain't disarming anyone. I'll just shoot the bastard.
Actually, I learned a bunch of those disarming techniques too from a cop.
And then I think this was in reference. Johnny Love is the one in UK. And then he said, but I attacked, this is still Doug, but I attacked him and said, you don't have your gun right now. Yeah, Doug was like super into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh my gosh. So I hope that's what I missed, Doug. I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. Vinny's World says, I use incognito when I want to search for random stuff, but I don't want it to distort my suggestions and feeds. Exactly.
Yes.
Yep says, I use a VPN. Haven't gotten into incognito mode on Chrome yet, though.
Mm-hmm.
Haas says, LOL, don't use incognito. It's important that Right Said Fred knows they have fans. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that is funny.
Kenneth Crickmore says, the 12 rotor is 3 banks of 4 in a V.
Whoa.
Synfig. And the cranks are slaved together, about the same size as a big block Chevy, designed to drive a boat.
Wow. Yeah, I hadn't seen that. That's interesting.
Well,
That's about it, huh? Which is okay. I appreciate it. It's been fun. We laughed hard tonight. You did. I did too. That was really fun. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'm going to have a video tomorrow, I hope. If it's not tomorrow, it's Monday. But I'm going to work on it. Try to get it out tomorrow. So, thank you all for watching. We still had 96 people on, so...
that is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's great. I
don't know what makes y'all hang out with us.
I know. I love it, though, and I appreciate it every time. We've been so... Somebody said to me the other day, they're like, you said you ordered this many thousand pickups, or this many thousand magnets, and you said this is about how long it lasts you, but that means you make X amount of pickups a day, which is impossible with your video schedule, and blah, 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 blah. That's not possible. But we have been that busy, and I will say that we've been missing some videos because I have literally had to focus on getting stuff out. So I appreciate all your patience. We've not had news for a couple of weeks. I felt like that was the one I could... We've not had a Friday video for a while, so I'm trying to really get everybody stuff out because we've been so busy. So thank you for making us busy. And we are fairly caught up now. We're back down to a couple of weeks out. So everything is cool. So if you want to order something, it won't take freaking forever because we're pretty on it. So thank you so much for all that. And thank you for your patience in not seeing all the videos come out like they normally do. So
Awesome. Thank you.
cool, man. Thanks. We'll see y'all. Have a good night.